In this video, I will show you how you can install your own Windows preferred server in Hetzner Cloud platform. I will give you in-depth step-by-step instruction from creating your own Hetzner Cloud account, creating your new server, setting up the server, attaching Windows ISO file to this server and installing this window, installing drivers such as hard disk Ethernet, and finally setting up the server, which it will enable you to connect through a remote desktop connection from your computer detailed. I will give you a table of content in the description, so if you are interested in a specific part, you can go there and check it out. If not, you can watch this video. Also, I will leave a exclusive €20 coupon link from Hetzner, which you can, if you do not have any existing account, just click on the link in the description. It will give you a €20, which you can use to build out this VPS server and essentially using it for a couple of months for free for you. Okay, let me go and start it. First, you need to click on the link or go into Hetzner Cloud and make sure to go into either here or just click sign up here. First, we want to create an account on it. So I'm going to do that, just that. Click on register now. Give a email address, password. Once done, just click on continue and make sure to save the password also. Then it will send a verification link which you need to click on it to verify the email address which you typed. And once that is done, it shows the verification is complete. I just need to fill out some personal details. Let me do that. And contact details, please provide it as much as accurate because they will be using details for invoicing purposes. Okay, once that is done, click on continue and it's asking a currency for your need. So make sure to select one. It cannot be changed afterwards. In this case, I'm going to keep it as euros for me. And now I need to connect to a payment method. This is very important. Even though they are giving some free credits, all these coupons and everything, they need to validate you because they want to protect themselves from mass account creation or spam. Here you just need to provide your credit card enable details. Then you just need to make sure to press this one to make sure it can save your details. This is important, otherwise it won't let you to continue. And I'm going to click on continue. Now it's going to do a demo transaction to make sure that it is a valid debit or credit card. Okay, now I have added the debit card. It's showing me I have successfully signed up. Now it is giving me an option to enable two-factor, which is an additional security measure. If you want, you can go ahead or just click on skip if you do not wish to do. I recommend adding this part if you just to be on safe side. Now we need to create a new project. So in order to click that, when I do that, it will ask for a verification. Since this is the first time you are creating an account, they have one more verification we need to do. So it's asking before you can use the account data to verify, please log in to this. And we need to go into verification section, which is here. And it's saying that our automated system checks indicate that your account has been increased level of risk. It might be happening for everyone or may not happen to you. But if it does, you need to upload a document here. Okay, now I have just verified my account. It tried with the automatic verification for my country, but somehow it got failed. So I had a manual verification where I send a message to them with my personal details which they asked and they verified it for me. When I click on new project, now it is allowing me to create a new project. So I'm going to click on Windows Server. You can name it any way you want, but make it something easy to remember in case if you have multiple servers for you. Once that is done, click on that particular project which you have access to it, and it will give you all the details here. Inside that, go into server and you will see a screen something like this. Here you just click on add server and it will ask you to select a location here. Some important point, if it has some messages, it will show you. Here it will show you all the stuff which you have selected and a total based on it. You can select a location on anywhere you want. Depending on the location also, the price might be changing. So you just check it out whichever the one you want, maybe something suited for you. Then you select a default operating system. We are going to be installing Windows Server, but we need some root in order to first start installing it. So we are going to keep this as default as it is in Ubuntu, and I'm going to come down. Here you need to select the architecture of your shared VPS. If you got option for this, this is also dependent on the locations. So depending on the location, you will get an access for it. This one is most probably the one you want to be needing. Here you can select whichever the server you want. I might be going for the lowest. So just to give you the lowest amount possible. So once that is selected, I'm going to get two virtual CPUs, 2 GB RAM, 40 GB SSD hard disk, and a monthly bandwidth traffic of 1 TB. And also we have several other options available here. I'm just going to keep all this as it is. If you want, you can do this. I'm not going to do any of this. And once here, I can also adjust the name again. For example, Windows Server 1. So I'm going to be getting this charged around €5 a month. When I click on create and buy, this is now going to be setting up the server for me. You can see all the notification. It creating me a primary public IP. I can create the server location of it, and it is saying that it is created. Now we have successfully created the server. Now when I go into the server, one important thing to note, I have pre-set up the server as it is, that this is the maximum resources I will be needing and this is the money I'm okay with it. In case if you don't want Hetzner to automatically resize this server depending on your need, what you need to do is go into rescale and make sure to turn this off. Otherwise, it might be resizing if you need more powerful plan. Just read through it. Depending on your use case, you can select it. I personally recommend to uncheck this, so you can make sure to keep it as the original self itself. Now what we need to do is we need to install Windows into this particular one. In order to do that, we need to go into ISO images, and you will see a lot of different ISO images available for you. What you need to do is come here and search for Windows, and these are the different types of Windows Server options you have available with this. For example, we have English edition and as well as some foreign language. We have 2016, 2022, 2019 and 2025. So we have all this option. You can choose whichever the one you want. There is no specific need for it. Whichever the one you want, you can choose it. I'm going to click on 22 English. I need to click on this particular button which says mount. Basically, I'm mounting this Windows image into my server. So once I do that, it's the image is turned onto unmount, which means the image is attached to the server. Now what I want this is done, just click on console. This will open up this particular server in a console window, which we can proceed. Make sure to click on GU mode and click on Control Alt and Delete. This will enable you, give you some graphical access and use a keyboard mouse to better to suit it. So you can see we already started with installation process of Windows Server. Now what you need to do is click on next, make sure to select the language and all the procedures, click on install now. Once here, the setup will start working on it, and we have several options based on the server we selected. I will recommend you to select any of the standard and a desktop experience. When you include desktop experience, it will enable you much better support when you are connecting through remote desktop. So make sure to select that and click next. You don't worry about the slowness. This is because we are connecting to console, but when you connect through remote desktop, it will be much faster for you. Just accept this, and here you need to click on custom. And once here, it will not find any orders for you because we don't have any support drivers here. What you need to do is now is go back to this page where we have mounted this. Here, when you search for Windows, you will see something called this Windows driver. So make sure to we need the ISO version. So here we are getting the ISO version. We also have two different one. I recommend to go with the latest one as possible to make sure there is no compatibility issue, and click on mount. When we click on mount, it will unmount the Windows image temporarily and mount this particular driver for us. This driver will have all the necessary drivers to make sure to use our software. So here, once that is mounted, I need to click on load driver. I'm going to click on browse, and it has loaded this driver. I'm going into this and opening this, basically CD drive, which says that this particular driver has been loaded. You go into scroll down until you see VIOSTSI. Expand that. Here you need to select the version of Windows which you are trying to install. For me it is 22. So I'm going to click on that and select the subfolder and click OK. Now it will automatically giving me the driver it found. When I click on next, now it will try to install this driver, which will enable us to access the hard disk to create the Windows Server partition. So wait for it, and you can see it now found all the drivers for me which I need. Now what you need to do is go back, and we don't no longer require this. We are going to be loading the same English Windows Server operating system installation ISO again, and you can see this I am loading in the back. Now I am going back to here, and I'm going to delete all the existing partition because we already know these partitions are created by Ubuntu, which we initially selected. We no longer need that. So create all the existing partitions, and you are left out with a blank unallocated space. Here you can create new, and if you just need one drive partition, you can go with the entire amount, or you can partition it any way you want by giving a lower number here. I'm just going to keep it as one partition for the demo purposes. And once that is done, it has automatically created a small system reserve for Windows to load properly and directly. Now I'm just going to click on next. That's it. Now I need to wait until this installation gets completed. Depending on your server configuration, it will take time. You just need to wait. So it has installed. I'm going to unmount the Windows image again because we don't want to repeat to go back to installation. We just straight away can start installing from the computer. It is asking me to create a password for my username. Okay, I have created it. Now it has done. So you can see now I straight away went into the login screen. I am going to click on this button, which equals to pressing this particular all three buttons at the same time. I'm going to enter the password which I have created, and it is logging into that. We have created the Windows server. We have some couple of more settings to do in order to start using it. First, once this is loaded, it is going to be opening up a server manager welcome screen. We need to wait for it. There are some couple of settings we can adjust on that. First, I'm going to close on this server manager properties and disable this, and make sure to enable this. Click on OK, and we have another option. Go into local server, and you can turn this off. Basically, this is a Internet Explorer. By default, you will have Internet Explorer using. When you visit website, it will give you security warning. If you don't want that, you can turn off these options. Then go into remote desktop here, click on disabled, and select allow remote desktop for this connection, and click on OK, click on apply, and OK. Now we have enabled remote desktop. Still it's showing me disabled. I have already enabled it. Let's see whether in case if there's some problem. Maybe it's a cache issue. I'm going back and coming back here. It's enabled now. So this is good. Now still we need to solve one more problem before we start to connect to remote desktop. That is, there is no internet access here. In order to do that, first I need to come here and load the drivers again. Click on mount. It will mount the CD drive, CD with the drivers. I'm going to go back into this, go into something called device manager. Sometimes you will be seeing it here. In case if you don't see it, nothing to worry. Just type it here, device, and you will see it. When you open up device manager, it will show all the drivers we are still not installed in with this kind of asterisk. Here we need to install all this driver to use this server properly. Click on update driver, right click and update driver, browse my computer, click on browse again. Scroll down, click on the CD-ROM. Just you can click on just the CD-ROM, click next. It will automatically try to find the matching drivers for you. It automatically found it, and you can see automatically it connected to the network also. Now we have the network connection, which is good. Still couple more stuff. Just click this on close. Still a bit slow for me, lagging. Let me do it for the other drivers also. Same procedure. Go and click on browse. Select that particular location. Click on next. It will automatically search for the drivers and install it. Again, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go here. Click on update driver. Click on browse my computer. Select that particular CD drive. Click on next. Installing, done. And we can close this one out. And we have one last driver. This is simple communication controller. Click on it again, click on browse, select that particular location, select it, OK, next. And we should be good to go. We have installed all the device driver which we were missing. And if I go down, you can see every driver has been installed. One, we can test whether network is working. So I can go into the browser and it will load up all the things. So it giving me first a welcome screen. Let me wait and show you. Okay, you can see it automatically started bringing all this data for me. I can get started and using all the device here. Let me click on continue and click continue without, just to show you that it works. Internet, and I'm going to go into my website, and okay, you can see the website is loading. So internet is good. Now one more thing which you can do before we start connecting remote desktop, just to make sure, install any Windows updates also. This is a best practice. You don't need to do it absolutely, but better to have a security system. So just to make sure, go into Windows update settings and install Windows updates as well. Now I'm going to connect this through remote desktop. So I'm going to open up remote desktop. You can close this if you want. We don't need it anymore. Come into here. I need to find the IP address, which is this particular IP address. It will show you here. Click on it, paste it, type the username, which is going to be administrator. And if you want to save the password, you can do that. You can save this detail. Keep this as it is, unless if you're using some performance, you can try to reduce this a bit. Otherwise, you can do that. You can have, if in case if you don't want any of the additional stuff, you can disable it. Otherwise, you can just keep it as it is. Click on connect. It will try to establish a connection, give you the password which you gave for the system, and click on OK. It give me a certificate exception. Click on this, and yes, then this pop-up won't be showing it to you again. Click on yes. Now we have successfully, I hope, connected to remote desktop. I am seeing it my other screen. Now you can see this is the system. It shows the preferences, and we see, like, let me open up this PC and go into this PC. You can see the total amount of driver space, and if I go into computer and open system properties, it will show all the processor, all the details which we selected. So that is how easy to create a Windows server without any technical knowledge in Hetzner, which is very fast, very easy and updated solution. In case if you encounter any problems, ask me in the comment. I will fix it for you. If you need any more help, also let me know and I will try to do my best. Once again, thank you so much and I hope you have a great day.